Mexican politician shot dead immediately after a presidential debate. Or I don't know if it was a presidential debate, actually. I forget what the nature of the debate was. I think it was, though. But so he finishes his debate, an election debate with a rival congressional candidate. This guy was a former, I believe it was a former governor, Fernando Puron. And he's tough with law enforcement. He's a law and order candidate. What happens immediately after his debate? He's taking a selfie, shot in the head, dead. Now, I thought Mexico had a bunch of strict gun laws. I guess those gun laws didn't work out for the politician.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
One of the most important things here, one of the most important things to realize here, and that needs to happen, is the facade that somebody on television is the expert. Somebody on television is the one to trust. Or that politician, that senator, he must be trustworthy, she must be trustworthy. Certainly, they're in that position of power. They must be trustworthy. As soon as that facade breaks, it's game over for fake media, and it's game over for our corrupt government. Like, think about it like this. I've met Don Lemon before. I've met Van Jones before. I've had conversations with them. Van Jones, actually a smart guy, actually can think, pretty quick-witted. Don Lemon, on the other hand, is the equivalent in IQ to a lemon head, the little candy drop. Okay? But if let's say Don Lemon was sitting right here in studio next to me. Let's get a wide shot here. So Don Lemon is sitting right here. And then I'm sitting right here. The average person in America that watches TV news would assume that Don Lemon has more credibility than me and that Don Lemon is smarter than me. Why? Well, because he's on TV. He's on CNN, so he has to be. As soon as that facade breaks, it's game over for corporate media, and then it's game over for the politicians they protect. This has been one of the biggest facades carried out on the American public in this country's history, that just because someone is on TV, they have to be trustworthy. In fact, quite the opposite. If you see someone on TV, you probably can't trust them, especially if they're on CNN or MSNBC. But that's the facade that's beginning to fall, and they keep outing themselves more and more every day as the total corporate stooges that they are. Now, let me hit some news and then go back out to the phone lines. Federal government spends $700,000 using the church to tell Latinos to exercise. You know, this makes no sense, and reading this story, it really makes me wonder if there isn't something behind this that they're not telling us, but let's just pretend there's not. Why is the federal government spending almost $1 million going into Catholic churches with mostly Latino congregations and getting them to exercise? A, again, what happened to separation of church and state? But B, $700,000 to do a study on getting Latinos to exercise at a park, and they're using the Catholic Church as their segue into that? Just doesn't make any sense to me. Mexican politician shot dead immediately after a presidential debate. Or I don't know if it was a presidential debate, actually. I forget what the nature of the debate was. I think it was, though. But so he finishes his debate, an election debate with a rival congressional candidate. This guy was a former, I believe it was a former governor, Fernando Puron. And he's tough with law enforcement. He's a law and order candidate. What happens immediately after his debate? He's taking a selfie, shot in the head, dead. Now, I thought Mexico had a bunch of strict gun laws. I guess those gun laws didn't work out for the politician when he was taking a selfie, Fernando Puron, or Puron. So, yeah, there's the footage right there. The crew found it. So, This is just what you get in the country of Mexico that's run by the cartels now. If you're a law and order candidate, you're going to get shot dead in the head. Boom, there it is. Okay, but let's bring that here, and then let's also bring Mexico's gun laws here, too. That'll work. And let's bring this here. Sweden's largest football tournament bans soccer. Sweden's largest football or soccer tournament bans forbidden pork from the menu to please Muslims. Now, can you imagine going to a baseball game in America and wanting to get a hot dog, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, we don't serve hot dogs anymore. We're compliant with Sharia law. We don't want to offend any potential Muslims that could be here today. Not selling hot dogs at baseball to please Muslims. You better believe that was coming if Hillary Clinton got elected, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know about you, but I happen to like hot dogs at a baseball game, even though it's filled with, carcinogens and crap. I still like the traditional hot dog at a baseball game. So I want to keep that American tradition going. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. Let's go to Carlos calling in from Montreal. Go ahead, Carlos.
Thank you, Owen. How are you doing?
Hey, does Justin Trudeau have fake eyebrows? I mean, what is the deal with this? I've seen multiple angles. Maybe it's a shadow. Maybe it's not. But they're making Trudeau out to be this hero now. He's Captain Canada for standing up to Trump. But really, what is the deal with Trudeau's eyebrows? Are those real or fake?
I don't know either. I think that it's who would let him go out of the house with fake eyebrows is beyond me.
Well, I mean, look at some of the stuff this guy says and the socks he wears. I mean, I don't really care. I wear goofy socks too. In fact, I think I got some pretty goofy ones on right now, actually. So
let me tell you something about the media, okay? During World War II, people would turn to the radio every morning. They would have the radios anywhere, plug them in, if they had any electricity anywhere, to listen to what was said over the radio. And they heard everything. They heard the goal, and they heard, the government directing them. The trust in the media was very, very great. It was holy. Go forward to President Johnson saying, Walter Cronkite, I think I've lost him. Shortly after he resigned, he said he wasn't going to run anymore. The power of the media is fantastic. It's the first thing that you take over when you want to take over a country. You want to control the media. So for Canadians and Americans to trust their media is a holy thing, is an important thing, and it's something that has been violated. This is very profound. I know that InfoWars, I know that other media are trying always to address the fact that we're not being told the truth. If we were the Sopranos, we would say, this is crapola. This is not the truth. This is just what some marketing idiot or some global warming, a fake group is trying to make money out of. They're using something valuable, something that should be really, really important, almost as important as having a defense against foreigners attacking.
You know what? And this principle applies thousands of years back in time, but it used to be religion. Religion is what they used to take control of to manipulate the population. I mean, look at the Catholic Church. Look at the Vatican. The Illuminati took over the Catholic Church hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, and now they run the Vatican. Anytime there's a big discovery, specifically more so in Europe than anywhere else, but it happens in America, the Catholic Church moves in, takes the property, takes the grounds, and then says you cannot excavate, you cannot dig for history and historical artifacts here anymore. It's like the same thing, but it's with the media now. The media is the trusted institution, so they trust whatever's digged up, whatever's found out, the media will tell them it's the exact opposite. But it would be nice, though, Carlos. I mean, I could trust the media a little bit more if I could just find out the truth about Justin Trudeau's eyebrows, because those things are really doing a number right now. Let's go to Chris, also calling in from Canada. Chris, make this one quick. We got 60 seconds. Go ahead, Chris.
It's actually a quick story. I just woke up this morning. I was having my tea, and I turned on Fox News. And next thing I knew, I hear Trump shaking hands at the summit with Kim Jong-un, and then they're basically celebrating it as the greatest achievement, yada, yada, yada. So for a laugh, I decided, I thought to myself, the liberals must be just going crazy over this. So I turned it over to CNN. Next thing I know, they're spinning it the complete opposite, like it's some sort of mishap, some sort of big trouble for everybody. Like it made no sense. I actually laughed literally out loud and dropped my remote on the floor. I almost spilled my tea.
No, CNN is not news anymore.
Like, it was crazy. I just couldn't believe that they were, on one hand, Fox is telling you, and I know Fox is a bit biased, but either way, it is a great achievement. And then on the other hand, yes, CNN singing it like it's the worst possible thing, worst possible outcome ever.
But don't you see why CNN would say that? Because CNN's been lying about President Trump since day one. So because they've been lying about President Trump and they've told their audience he can't do X, Y, or Z, well, now he does X, Y, and Z, and CNN can't admit they're wrong, so they have to lie about what President Trump does. I mean, these people are some of the biggest scum on earth, honestly.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Mr. Armstrong, you'd mentioned in your answer to, I think, Ms. Spears' question, that there are other RTs operating in the U.S. Can you describe them, list them?
Sure, thank you. So you have RT, you have Sputnik, you have Rupley, and then I think you have them feeding other entities. InfoWars comes to mind, where those are echo chambers.
Director Comey, are you aware that Roger Stone played a role in the Trump campaign?
I'm not going to talk about any particular person here today, Mr. Schiff.
This bizarre circular thing happening where the president cites a theory that he was wiretapped, which developed on the kind of fringe right-wing media. And then after his tweet storm, InfoWars then started saying, well, look, it was the New York Times that reported it, citing our story, misreading our story. And now, a few weeks later, the White House and the president are citing InfoWars.
Are you aware that Mr. Stone also stated publicly that he was in direct communication with Julian Assange and WikiLeaks?
Same answer.
We're going to start shutting Alex Jones and others down, and we're going to sue them, and we're going to have the Justice Department come after them. And get this, folks, if they can shut us down, you're next.
You know, I think it's really important as we sit here that we explain this to the American people in a way that they can understand it.
We are at war with Russia.
So would you say that Russia engaged in hybrid warfare in its effort to undermine our democratic process and engage in our electoral process? Director Comey?
They engaged in a multifaceted campaign of active measures to undermine our democracy and hurt one of the candidates and hope to help one of the other candidates.
I actually think that their engagement was an act of war.
You said we were attacked by Russia. That's not a small thing.
Yes.
An attack doesn't just invite a counterattack, it demands one, else you reveal your fundamental weakness and get attacked again.
Never in the history of our elections has a country attacked us the way that Russia has.
I think before government officials change our foreign policy and declare war against a sovereign country, as you all are attempting to do, we, citizens, have a right to know on what basis you're doing that.
If there is objection, and I note the senator from Kentucky on the floor, I will say before I read this, if there is objection, you are achieving the objectives of Vladimir Putin. You're achieving the objectives of trying to dismember this small country that has already been the subject of attempted coup. If they object, they are now carrying out the desires and ambitions of Vladimir Putin, and I do not say that lightly.
Senator from Kentucky.
I object.
Objection is heard.
The senator from Kentucky is now working for Vladimir Putin.
You're carrying water for the Kremlin.
I'm not carrying water for the... You're a sitting member of Congress on the Intel Committee, and you can't say they hacked...
You're gonna have to move your show to RT Russian television, because
you know what?
This
That's
is perfect.
Just so
this is perfectly
beneath your
placed.
office, because it's so dumb and you're being duplicitous. I'm asking you, did they hack Podesta's emails? And you can't say it.
Personal insults like that, Tucker.
You just said I was carrying... You said I was carrying water for Putin.
Russian scum!
Our battleships weren't sunk and our towers didn't collapse a la 2011. But make no mistake, 2016 is a year that we should mark on our calendars. And it's still going on. The attack didn't end on Election Day.
Donald John Trump, a man who, to borrow a phrase from another December long ago, will live in infamy.
If we discover that Donald Trump or his advocates played a role in helping to devise strategy, if they're the ones who came up with crooked Hillary, if they're the ones who came up with she's ill, something's wrong with her energy, and the way that he basically, described her in the campaign, I think that is something that would put the question squarely on the table whether or not he should be impeached.
Talk show host is Alex Jones. He's a conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Jones is the wildly popular conspiracy theorist.
Radio talk show host and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Deeply, I think, racist.
I just got called racist by MSNBC.
I don't want that man to have a gun.
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
The Alex Jones Show. Watch the free stream live at Infowars.com/show.
One of the most incredible cups of coffee can be found in the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers have spent years perfecting their techniques. Based off hundreds of years of traditional techniques and perfect conditions, we've sourced only the best to provide you with our immune support and Wake Up America Patriot Blend coffee. Ancient Mayan knowledge is paired with the natural fertility of the land to generate the world's finest coffee bean, carefully harvested and free of toxic chemicals used in big agricultural productions. Patriot Blend coffees have a smooth, bold flavor with great depth to give you just what you need in the morning. You can even choose to start your morning healthier with the Immune Support Blend, infused with a powerful blend to support your immune response and stamina. It's time to take care of your morning routine. Get a bag of Patriot Blend coffee to support the show while enhancing your morning routine at InfoWarsStore.com.